Don't we often ask, how am I going to achieve X, Y, and Z? May I give you a better question? Ask, who can help me do that? Hey, smart biotech scientists. Welcome to another episode on the Smart Biotech Scientist podcast. We are in the middle of a conversation about how to uncomplicate your project. Because you may have the next blockbuster molecule in your pipeline, but if you fail to manage to produce reliably sufficient quantities for your clinical trials and the commercial supply, you're risking the success of the entire project. You may have the most incredible ideas in the world, but if they're not well executed, you are going nowhere. In part 1, we have laid the groundwork of good project management. We looked at the elements to include in the planning, and then we started to look at the benefits of great planning. So if you haven't listened to part 1, please go back. And now we are up for the rest of good project management. Welcome to the Smart Biotech Scientist podcast. I'm your host, David Brulman. Let's smarten up biotech. So let me ask you another question. What makes your project successful? Well, it's communication, leadership, and problem-solving skills all together. They play a crucial role. And from my experience, when you're developing a process and then scaling it up, you need a lot of problem-solving skills because there's so much that can go wrong, even with good planning. So we have talked much about the technical aspects of project management. But remember that your project relies on people. It's all about your leadership capability to build and lead a winning team. You will be working with a cross-functional team, potentially with people from outside, with the CDMO, with analytical experts, with people from other sites, or even from other divisions, or people working in a completely different time zone. So you must learn to communicate effectively and have enough technical knowledge to make the right decisions. So how do you assure that it's long-term success? Well, it comes to technology development or product development. You need to have an idea on the scalability potential. And when I was working in technology innovation, we would ask this question often. It's a reflex you should have as a process development manager, because when developing a manufacturing process, consider that you'll have to scale the production sooner or later. You may have a brilliant idea to cool down the chromatography step to increase its yield. Well, it sounds great in R&D. You could well put your column into a fridge. But how would you do that with a 120 centimeter stainless steel column? You'd need to cool the entire system or do the entire step in a cold room. Imagine the wasted energy and the non-ideal working conditions for the people performing that process step. Well, that may sound silly to you. Like you're thinking, well, who would do such a thing? Well, I have seen such development. So scalability is at the core of creating an innovation success story out of a great idea. And I have come across brilliant scientists who are now developing a new technology they can sell as a product to enhance the production process. And this can be a physical product or a software solution. So let's focus on product development for a minute. How does this play out the scalability potential? Since most tech companies cannot be successful, let alone survive, without a huge user base of returning customers, it is very important to consider, number 1, whether your idea has the potential to scale, and number 2, start building your product and operations with the scaling in mind. All ideas are not equally scalable. Software-centric, innovative ideas have the potential of having a very high scale advantage because the marginal cost of copying software is zero. For instance, Microsoft can easily sell another Excel license. Software companies are great at scaling because they can sell their product to more customers with very minimal added cost. Ideas that require material or energy or labor to produce each unit of innovation have a lower scale advantage. So to evaluate the scalability potential, evaluate two things. One, identify your target market, in other words, your end users. And number two, come up with your growth hypotheses. The economy of scale is at the core of innovation. If you want to take advantage of your idea, you need to focus on the development of intellectual assets that could be traded at zero marginal costs to a growing number of customers. And to ensure project success, always consider scalability. An idea might work well on a small scale, but fail when expanded. Therefore, it's vital to evaluate the scalability potential right from the start and consider factors like the target market and your growth hypotheses. And now coming back to process development and scale up, it's crucial to remember that scalability is an integral part of this process too. A process might work well on a small scale, but fail when attempts are made to scale it up. What's the point to develop a drug you can't manufacture? Therefore, it's vital that you consider scalability from the very start of the project to ensure long-term success. So to wrap it up, I want to give you 3 bonus tips to create a high-performing team. Remember, at the core of any project success, it's about the technology. Wrong. It's about science. Wrong. It's all about the people. Their creativity, their dedication, and their hard work drive the progress and outcomes of a project. Make sure to foster a supportive, encouraging, and collaborative environment where everyone feels valued and heard. That's the key to a successful project. And how do you do that? Well, number 1, you need to build a high-performing you. Yes, outstanding leadership starts with self-leadership. You can't give what you don't have. You need stamina and you must model the right behavior. You need big confidence and positive energy. People are looking for someone they can trust and rely on. That's why you need to start with you and learn how to lead yourself. Number 2, get the right people. Yeah, again, we have it here, people. You need to look at their character, their competence, the chemistry, can they work together, and also their culture. It doesn't mean that you need the most experience. No, look for a balance between skills and positive energy. Build a warm, open, collaborative culture where people can fail. Because if you tap into the potential of other people, you will skyrocket your results. Remember, you can't do it all by yourself. You need a great team around you. And I want to give you a great question that will take your game to the next level. Don't we often ask, how am I going to achieve X, Y, and Z? May I give you a better question? Ask, who can help me do that? It can be easy to focus on how, especially for high achievers like you who want to control the outcome. But you need to learn that other people are more than capable enough to handle much of the house. And this includes also to look for technology partners, analytical experts, or potentially a CDMO. So as much as possible, try to focus on your strengths zone only. And the third one is empower your team. You know, a high-performing team is empowered to make decisions on your behalf. When you interact with others as a leader, what is your mindset? Asks the leadership expert John Maxwell. Is your intention to correct them or connect with them? If the former, then you are a dinosaur, one of all the Moses Juniors of the past who believed that leaders should be all about I know and order and you don't and listen. The leaders of tomorrow are the leaders who connect today. They are trustful and talkative. They listen. They ask questions. They look for answers. Become one of them. Become a connector. That's how you empower your team. So believe in your team members that they can make the right decisions serving the goal of the project. Hey, smart biotech scientists, that's a wrap on today's podcast. We've talked about the importance of thorough planning and considering scalability in project management. Remember, your team's creativity and hard work are the key to success. Leadership also plays a crucial role, and empowering your team is vital. I hope you found these insights helpful for your projects. So that's what I think. But about project management, what do you think about these project management insights? Do you have any experiences or insights to share? So please send me a message because I look forward to hearing from you, and I see you next week. All right, smart scientists. That's all for today on the Smart Biotech Scientist podcast. Thank you for tuning in and joining us on your journey to bioprocess mastery. For additional bioprocessing tips, visit us at smartbiotechscientist.com. Stay tuned for more inspiring biotech insights in our next episode. Until then, let's continue to smarten up biotech.